Okay.
Yeah. Recording.
Stanley Cup has a long and storied history. It is the oldest continually competed for trophy in North American pro sports. Over the years, it has gone through several changes. In 1888, Lord Stanley watched a hockey game between the Montreal Victorias and the Montreal Amateur Athletic Association. He was very impressed by the skill all the players showed, and he decided that Canada needed a symbol for the hockey teams to compete for. And at a dinner in Ottawa on March 18th, 1892, he was quoted as saying, "I have for some time been thinking that it would be a good thing if there were a Challenge Cup which should be held from year to year by the champion hockey team in the Dominion of Canada. There does not appear to be any such outward sign of a championship at present, and considering the general interest in which matches now elicit, and the importance of having the game played fairly under the rules generally recognized, I am willing to give a cup which shall be held from year to year by the winning team." And later that year, he purchased a bowl for 10 guineas, or the equivalent of $50 US. It would be a challenge trophy and would never become property of any club. Each year, the team that would win it would have possession of it for that year. The first team to win the cup was the Montreal Amateur Athletic Association. They finished in first place with 7 teams in 1893 to become champions. But until 1910, only amateur teams were allowed to compete for the cup. In 1926, the Ottawa Senators beat the Boston Bruins 2-0 with 2 overtime ties to become the first NHL team to win the cup. The Stanley Cup has been awarded every year except for 1919 and 2005. In 1919, it wasn't awarded because of a Spanish influenza outbreak. The Seattle health officials canceled the series between Montreal Canadiens and the Seattle Metropolitans. Players from both teams were sick with the flu, and Canadian defenseman Joe Hall became sick and died less than a week after the series was canceled. And in 2005, because of a lockout of the players by the owners when a collective bargaining agreement could not be reached, the season was canceled. The first team to have their names engraved on the trophy were the 1906-07 Montreal Wanderers, and they are engraved on the inside of the bowl. The 1924 season was the first year that it became the tradition to put the winning team's names onto the cup. As of the 2010-2011 season, there were 2,163 names engraved on the cup. There have been several typos over the years, including the 1963 Toronto Maple Leafs, which was misspelled Maple Leafs with an E replacing the F in the last name, and the 1981 New York Islanders. They forgot to put the first S in the name on the trophy. There's only been 2 players that their names have been corrected on the cup: Adam Deadmarsh of the Colorado Avalanche and Manny Legace of the Detroit Red Wings. Ted Lindsay was the first captain to be given the trophy and skate around the ice with it. Ever since then, the captain will take the cup from the commissioner and he'll hand it to each player so they can have a turn to skate around the ice. There have been several teams that have lost or dented the cup over the years, including the 1905 Ottawa Silver 7. One of the players during the celebration, decided to see if he could drop kick the cup into the canal. He succeeded, and it was left frozen in the water until the next morning when they realized they had misplaced it. And in 1924, the Montreal Canadiens were on their way to celebrating when they had a flat tire. They removed the cup from the trunk to get the spare tire out, and after they changed it, they got back and drove off and left the cup in the snowbank on the side of the road. They only realized it after they wanted to take team pictures with the cup and it wasn't there. They drove back and it was still left in the same spot. It takes 3 months in a best-of-7 playoff series to win the cup each year, but every player who has held the cup after winning it will tell you it was worth every second of each game.